So you're in college about to graduate, or yet you might even be in high school and you're thinking about buying a home, but it's way down the road. But you know what? Today I want to talk to you about what are some things you could be doing right now, whether you're 15, 18, 22, 25, to purchase your own home. Keep it locked right here.
Did you really want to party?
Yeah. So let's keep rolling. I wish when I was in high school or even yet in college, someone would have sat down with me and said, hey, yo, eventually you want to be a homeowner. Here are the things that you should be keeping in mind right now. I just purchased my home here about a year ago. I'm 34 years old, but I probably would have purchased it a little bit earlier if someone would have told me some things that I'm going to tell you today. So here's the very first thing I want you to start keeping in mind in the process down the road. Number one, what's the location? You know, where do you want to live at? Where do you like living at? Maybe you want to live on the West Coast. Keep in mind, West Coast is expensive. Maybe you want to live on the East Coast, you know, go to Florida, a little bit something like that, South Carolina. That's right, Columbia, South Carolina is where your boy is from. But anyways, East, West, South, I don't care. Do the research and identify where you want to go and where you want to live. So I did a little bit of research and I wanted to see what do professionals recommend if you want to buy your first home, what states work good for you. Some of these on the list were Texas, Michigan, Idaho, Colorado, Florida. I mean, these are some great states. Like me personally, if I had to start all over, I'm gonna be in Texas or Florida. Florida, beach. I like that Florida thing. But anyways, identify where you want to go. That's the most important, okay? Do the research. What's affordable? Where do you want to go? And see if any of those cities and states line up. So now once you identify where you want to go, where your ideal location is, what I want you to do is start looking up as well the job salaries around that area. What is the cost of living and also what is the income? You will be surprised that San Jose, California came in as #1 with a 3.3% unemployment rate. Y'all, that is like low. What does that mean? That means that a lot of people in the city have a job. They're making good money. They're able to afford to pay their bills. They can purchase a home, a nice home. Now, the state of California is an expensive state to live in, but again, it's an expensive state to live in. It means that their salary is also up there as well. So keep that in mind. I was surprised to find out that San Jose, California was on the list to be #1. Moving on. So once you identified the location, once you've identified, okay, cool, not only do I like living here, I can make a living here. Number 3, identify, you know, like, am I gonna be here for a long time? If you're only stopping by, doing the drive-by, nah, keep on going. But if you're gonna plant in the state, if you're gonna sit there for at least 5 to 7 years, then that is a good option. But if your job is only sending you there for a year and a half to work, no, you guys, do not purchase, rent. And let me say this right now, there's nothing wrong with renting. I rented for 7 years making my kind of money, and I'm telling you right now, I don't regret it because I was able to do some research, identify what kind of house I wanted to buy, who I wanted to build with, what state, and I also had to figure out if I'm going to be in Nashville, Tennessee this long. Your boy ain't going nowhere, so I built a house. Here is something that is very, very important. I often hear sometimes that, you know what, if I can afford rent, then I can afford my mortgage. That is false. I want you to identify and do some research on mortgages and mortgage companies. Just to give you a heads up, this is what I recommend to anyone. You could be 55 years old. I want you to finance for 15 years on a fixed rate, okay? We're not gonna do a 30-year loan, and we're not gonna do an adjustable loan, and we're not gonna go and finance, you know, 50% of our salary. No, we're gonna have our mortgage payment less than 25%. We're gonna get a fixed rate for 15 years. That's down the road for you all. But what I want you to do is start looking up companies. For an example, I financed my home with Churchill Mortgage. I'll put a link there below if you all want to check them out if you're in the process of looking at a home, if you're old enough. But Churchill Mortgage believes in our philosophy, being debt-free and getting 15 years fixed rate, okay? Do some research. What are they looking for? Will they do underwriting? Because again, will they do manual underwriting? Because again, we're not financing nothing. Do your research to make sure that the mortgage company that you're gonna go with understands your philosophy, our philosophy of having a debt-free lifestyle, and they'll do a manual underwriting. And this brings me to my last point here. I want to save you money. I don't want to see you hurting. I don't want to see you being normal. I want you to be the exception. I want you to be the anomaly. Nearly 7 out of 10 people will purchase a 30-year fixed rate and put down less than 20%. I want you to finance again for 15, but I want you to put down at least 20% because I want you to avoid something that's called a PMI. This is called a private mortgage insurance. And this is you just throwing away money that doesn't even benefit your principal or your interest payment. It doesn't even go towards your house at all. This is just extra money you're sending to the mortgage company to protect them for your house. But you still gotta go buy insurance for yourself. So again, what I want you to do is start saving 20% to put down towards your home. If you can save more, the more you can put down, then the better you are. So I'm telling you right now because you're getting ahead of the game, and that's what we are all about. It's about winning. Identify your city. Identify if you can make a strong financial living there. Identify, hey, you know what? Is this something that I really want to do? Will I be here for 5 to 7 years minimum? Find you a good mortgage company. I recommend Churchill Mortgage. And then identify, okay, you know what? How long is it going to take me to save 20% minimum to put down on my house? You may be 15. You may be 22. You may be 34. The key thing here is get the information and start preparing for the future. Hey, I'm going to see you on the next video. Peace. I'm going to go check out this house though now.